Hey everyone, Michael Rosmer here with Richucation. Welcome back. We're here today to talk about the subject of what is mastery. Mastery is one of our, 6 core principles, and so we better understand what it is, right? We've talked previously, and I'm going to reiterate, because this is really probably one of the most important pieces of mastery, is that mastery is not about knowledge. Okay, so you can read a book and not gain mastery. Mastery is more about skills, all right? So skills versus knowledge, we've talked before about how skills change your life, not knowledge. And just the example of how you could be riding on a bike, right? And that will give you a skill, you can ride the bike, but no matter how much you read about riding on a bike, you will never be able to ride a bike unless you jump on one. And that's a little bit different than maybe some sort of fields in math, things like that, right? But again, with language, right? Like if I don't pronounce a word, I'm not going to be able to say the word. It doesn't matter how much reading I've done on it, or even how much listening, right? Because it takes doing it and calibrating the sound that comes out to the sound that I'm putting out to make it work, right? So otherwise it would be really good, really easy. With that in mind, we get skills from doing, sort of, specifically deliberate practice. We talked about that in some other videos. And we get knowledge from reading or getting information from other people, watching videos, etc. So this is great for knowledge. Our goal for you, the thing that's going to change your life, that's going to really blow things up for you, is what? Getting skills, right? And so when we talk about mastery, we're not just talking about having a skill, though. What we're talking about is really a process, and not just a process, but how do I put this? Kind of like a habit, a particular way of being. And so it's like going on a journey, right? And so you want to take on the mindset of mastery, of being curious about life, of working on improving things, right? Because it's a never-ending process. You're never there, right? You might reach a point where you have results that you're satisfactory with, but there is no point at which you reach mastery. I guess let's put it that way. And because other people are always pushing up that bar, you better be too, or else maybe that, the skill is vanishing, and so hence value mastery, mastering something that's of value, and particularly long-term value, which is why we're talking about all this, rather than, click-by-click lessons that we could give you, but are going to change as the software changes, etc. So it's knowledge that's going to expire. So that kind of knowledge, that kind of skill even, you want to pass off to people you can hire. The things that are going to be universal, that are going to last for a long time, you want to keep with you, and you want to really grow those because they have a long-term value. So mastery really has 3 parts, okay? So number 1 is being able to do it, all right? So if I am, golfing or hitting a baseball bat, right? I clearly have no idea what I'm doing, so that might be really poor form. But the point is, you learn to keep your eye on the ball and hit and so on and so forth, right? So you want to be able to do it, but it's not enough to do it, okay? Because remember, what we're talking about with mastery, what is the purpose of mastery? The purpose of mastery is to deliver consistent results. Remember, you can get lucky, all right? It is entirely possible to achieve massive success based on luck without having mastery. You could marry for money, you could be born rich, you could win the lottery, you could, just stumble on the right combination of ideas at the right time with the right people and kind of accidentally be lazy and get out of the way, and they go and carry things through. And you might look at somebody like Paul Allen or Warren Buffett's wife, both as billionaire examples, who really it didn't have that much to do with them, okay? But the problem is, what are the chances of getting lucky? Like 1 in a few million, or 1 in a decamillion, or 100 million, whatever they are, right? And because of that, our chances of getting it are pretty low, and we don't want that. We want to get rid of that lame, mediocre life, and we want to live the life of glory. And we want to be able to do it predictably, and we want to be able to do it for our kids and our friends and our family, all those people, right? So, or maybe you're not somebody who wants to do that. Maybe you're like, hey, I want to rule over these people as a tyrant. That would be, incredible, awful. But, hey, what can I say? That's your conversation with you, not with me. To get predictable results, we need mastery. And this really means, okay, yes, we have to be able to do it. But if we can only do it once, we might do it at the wrong time. We might get unlucky. So just like you can get lucky, you can get unlucky, all right? If you get unlucky, then what's the problem? You got to be able to do it again, okay? And this happens to a lot of people. A lot of people I know, say a friend of mine, went from nothing to $11 million net worth in like 3.5 years, down to like negative $5 million net worth. What's his problem? He doesn't know how to get back there. So years later, he still is floating around nothing, okay? That's not a good position to be in. That's not where we want to be, right? So, in order to really take advantage of this, we need to have mastery. And what mastery means is you need to be able to replicate it. You need to be able to repeat that process over and over again. The thing that you did, you have to be able to do it again and again and again and again, okay? That's, pretty good. That carries you a long ways. But that only gets us so much growth because it's still restricted to us, right? And it's also hard to build on. So the real key, where you really achieve mastery, is when you take it from doing it, to repeating it, to duplicating. And what duplicating means is you know consciously what it is you're doing, and you can put it into somebody else. Because it's just a series of behaviors. Listen, everything that you do in life is nothing more than a series of behaviors. And when you realize that, to swim like Michael Phelps swims, yes, you need to build up the core muscles, etc. Honestly, that part isn't that difficult if you just consider how many bodybuilders and things like this are out there, right? Okay, yes, it takes a lot of work, but we know how to build muscles, right? We know how to condition our bodies. Boom. But to do what he does, you have to combine that with a skill set. And that skill set happens to be mirroring the behaviors that he does, the physical motions. If you could, in theory, match his motions exactly with the same strength, the same speed, etc., you'd get the same result, right? Now, okay, you could say, well, maybe he's a little taller, maybe, so there's some fluctuation in there, but not substantial. Same thing if I just think about throwing a basketball, right? Height aside, and height is not going to be that big a deal in terms of, say, there's a 6-foot person, there's a 7-foot person, they can both throw the ball and get it in, right? Basically. So if I'm talking about basketball, I'm going to throw this basketball. What is it all about? It's really only about a couple things. How much force do you throw it with? In what direction? At what angle? What speed? Etc. If you aim right and you throw it right, it'll go in. Period. Okay? And that's just it. You can break down, okay. Unfortunately, it's very hard, and this is why we'll sometimes record ourselves when we're doing something physical. Fortunately, in the stuff that we're doing with business, very frequently it's easy to see what it is we did, right? Whereas in the case of something like basketball, you have to videotape yourself for it. But you could see, oh look, that motion is off. If I'm doing archery or something, right? I can videotape and see, oh look, I'm holding this differently than that person is. What is it that I'm doing differently? As I release, if I look in slow motion, maybe I'm releasing, I did skydiving one time and we would hang off this strut. This was when we were doing the initial step. And if you didn't release, if you kind of pushed, then you'd risk tangling your cords and things like this, right? You wouldn't normally see that unless it's kind of in slow motion. Same thing if you're shooting a gun, you can kind of get, maybe you're pulling back or anticipating the shot, whatever it is you're doing, right? But the point is, it's just a behavior. And when you realize it's just a behavior, then you can change that behavior to get a different result. And as soon as you know specifically what those things are, then you can put them into somebody else, right? You say, oh, you know what? This is a little off. So that's what you're going for. What you're consciously wanting to do is you're wanting to say, I want to be able to get this result, and I need to know the process of getting it. I need to be able to do it. I need to be able to repeat it over and over again. And I need to be able to, understand what the framework is, and that framework will allow me to make a change. That's the really cool thing, right? So again, if I'm throwing, if I know why the ball is going off a little bit to the side, then I can correct that. If I don't, then I can't. And I'm going to be able to correct it in somebody else, right? That's mastery. That's what you're pursuing, okay? So again, being able to do it, and the way, how do you get to be able to do it? You go and you do it, right? You got to go out and try it. That's why we do deliberate practice. That's why you should have exercises that you give yourself, some sort of routine of getting better. And very, very few people have this discipline. But the reality is having that discipline, being willing to prepare, is going to take you to a level that very, very few people do. So get out there and train. Get out there and do some deliberate practice. If you want to be amazing at marketing, create yourself some exercises like, hey, writing headlines. You're just going to write headlines over and over and over again. You're going to test them and refine them and test and refine and test and refine, right? You're going to, well, in other videos you can see other parts of the process. But set up some sort of activity. That is that process is going to help you so much. hope that helps you, and we're going to see you on the next video.